Hello again. I am at what should be my final day in Avernum. Maybe there's gonna be one extra, depending on when the foundry is gonna be ready with my order. I have no idea what I just commissioned, but apparently it's story relevant. So we're gonna wait for that. Oh, and by the way, I think I cracked the code about cargo space. Currently, I'm at 272 and I have 13 spaces. So I think every 20 cargo you can carry gives you one space for a stack. At least that is my math over here. Okay, nothing new with traded news. Going to stock up on supplies on the day I'm going to leave. I decided. Okay, let's explore the city real quick. It looks like found a mushroom garden again. That's even more morale. I think I'm at my maximum at the moment. Indeed. Max morale. Max vigor. Looking pretty good actually. Let's do the final investigation. I have no idea how I managed to botch the other two. But here's hoping this would be slightly better. So let's go to the Slack Fort to spy on Assistant Magistrate Geludis Darrow. To your mild amusement, the plan Cedarius came up with to lure in the Assistant Magistrate works. Huh, pleasant surprise. Upon arriving to the Slack Fort, you tell one of the clerk's slaves in service of the courts that you have news about some Sergoroth followers you think were killed in the north. The slave asks you to wait until he reports this to one of the administrators. Before you can sit down with said bureaucrat, a clerk arrives to tell you that Assistant Magistrate Darrow will personally listen to your account. You are escorted to the offices of on the top floor of the courts. You are told to knock and enter. Javek looks at you knowingly as you stand before the office door. Morven is picking her nails. You knock and enter. You find yourself inside a spacious office with small slit windows looking out onto the courtyard of the Slack Fort. There's a desk here with scrolls stacked up on one side and a few opened ones lying in the middle. Maps of the region are on the walls and rows of shelves hold even more scrolls. A clerk slave busies herself with organizing these. A middle-aged man with a warm smile rises from the chair at the desk. He has dark eyes and a receding hairline. Over his orange tunic is the sash of his office, blue and purple, with a silver clasp holding it at his shoulder. He introduces himself as Geludis Darrow. My subordinates tell me you have news of a group of Sergorodhites. We are awaiting a cohort of such constitution back to the city, but we're beginning to be worried that something happened to them as they are late. Perhaps you might have heard of them. Tell him that you did not know about this cohort of his. Or tell him you've heard rumors in the city that such a company had left a while ago. No, sir, I do not know anything about this. Odd that you came here right away without gathering news in the city first. I would have thought a Vagrus such as yourself is well informed. But well, I'm sure your patriotism got the better of you. Because if I understand correctly, You are about to tell me bad news. He gestures toward the chair for you to sit down on. You do, as Javek and Morven stand behind you. You tell him the fake story Cedarius concocted. Just start at the beginning. You clear your throat before starting. My comitatus was traveling from Scrap Heap south along the Molten Tongue. We came around the Voiceless Lake. And we started hearing noises of battle. We approached and found dead bodies lying everywhere. So, you mean to say that there was no fighting going on by the time you arrived? Asks Darrow, eyebrows raised. Okay, we can try to convince him that we fought the undead. Moderate success. It should be what? 50-60%. I am slowly learning not to trust my own chances. Let's just be a little vague here. No, they must have killed each other just by the time we got here. Go on, says Darrow, scratching his chin thoughtfully. We checked the bodies. There was a lot of undead, mostly the smoldering variant. It was clear that there was a great battle there. The other bodies all belonged to the same group. They were all Sergorodites and their armed followers. A handful of them badly mutilated by the undead. We checked and found no survivors. Okay, we can say we took no belongings of the dead. Or that we took some weapons and whatever valuables we could find. Which we did. But also melted those down. So they will never going to find it. Okay, I think, since he was almost suspicious, that as a Vagrus we didn't gather all that much information, would he be suspicious again if we say that we didn't loot the bodies? And there's also the fact that we kind of left everything there, if I remember right. So if they actually send someone out there to search and not find anything, well, they can always blame it on someone else. I think this time, maybe I'm gonna be a little honest here. We took some weapons and whatever valuables we could find on them. Understandable? These must be of great value, and you are a businessman. Your report now makes up for what you took, Vagrus. Fair enough. You carry on with the report. You conclude the story by telling him that you have not come across any undead or Sergorodites, living or dead, on your journey here. Did you see a knight among the bodies, perhaps? Tall fellow, blonde hair, broad shoulders, dark armor, and quite an exquisite helmet. Fights with a great sword. Darrow asks after a brief pause. You tell him you did not find anyone among the bodies matching the description, even though you checked them fairly thoroughly. And this sentence isn't even a lie, since he wasn't among the bodies. The assistant magistrate thanks you and promises to bring the report before the high-ups in the city. Should they decide to further question you, they'll find you at your berth. You take your leave. Long after you've left the Slack Fort, Javek tells you that the plan has worked. I read his thoughts on the matter. It is clear that he knew much about the setting of the trap. He got really upset when you told him Cedarius might be alive and well. He thought about his career and the prefect, but also to report this to someone called Hanvius, as soon as he can. Okay, we return. I don't have any unfinished business here. Let's check the foundries. Okay, your reinforced cards are not ready yet. So what I'm gonna do, actually, is go and take a rest today. Because I think if everything comes to a head when we finish this investigation, we might need to move away from here really quickly. And I want to be ready for that. So let's take a rest now. Pay everyone. Okay. Nutrition is steadily dropping. So kinda have to pay for this option. Everything else is good. Not gonna do jobs. I think losing vigor for it is not really worth it, especially since this happens after the relaxation, so you can't even offset it. Okay, Morven has a good chance of healing. Which didn't happen. No matter. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, let's see how many supplies there actually are here. 1,105. Oh, that's actually almost all my money. Okay, I see. So this would take up 4 cargo slots out of the 7 empty that I have, and this should last me about 8 days. Yeah, keeping everyone supplied is quite a problem. And it is still only 4 stacks. You know, if I really wanted to, I could probably sell these ingots, buy a little more supplies. I hope this much is gonna be enough. Still, holding a little bit of money to pay the comitatus, at least in the first couple of days of travel. Let's do a quick explore. Oh, what's this? Strolling the bazaar, you are suddenly greeted in a foreign language by a tall dark man with a considerable belly and a huge mustache, wearing a turban. Javek laughs aloud and they embrace, slapping each other in the back. The man is introduced to you as Wazir, an old friend of Javek. The Tarkier is a Vagrus and a merchant just like you. You fall into conversation with ease, discussing news from distant places, prices, the dangers of the road, and politics, of course. And the Tarkier is human denizens of the country. Tark, desert-dwelling people in the arid hot north. Alright. It turns out that Wazir holds dried mushrooms back and forth between Avernum and the southwest. He tells you how he has some surplus rations he bought, but ended up not needing it for his next trip. He also offers you 3 Mokoru, huge trained guard dogs you could use on your trips, from the last litter of his favorite pup. For you, friend of my good friend Javek, just now, just here, for a low price. What say you? If we could get some guard animals for the price of a full day's wages. And of course, now that I spent almost all my money, now I get better deal for supplies. Yeah, okay. Or we could even buy both of these for an even higher discount. And I wish I could go back and actually sell all those ingots. At least hindsight works. You thank Wazir, but you do not wish to do business with him at this time. Let's check the foundries. He talked to several smiths about how to make your carts more resilient by reinforcing them with metal. Eventually, you come to an accord. You provide the metal and the fee. Didn't I start with this? I thought I was going to get something. Or maybe I actually needed iron for that. Huh. Yeah, I don't have any equipment. Well, at least it doesn't seem like it actually cost me anything. Let's go to Cedarius' hideout now. Here we can report findings. Finally, Cedarius says scornfully when you return and tell him you are done with the investigations. There are a few other Sergorodites in the room, watching silently. You recount everything you learned in the last few days, and Javek details his mental scans. Cedarius and his cronies listen intently. Following your report, Cedarius goes behind closed doors with 2 priests of Sergorod and a couple of executors, while you are told to stay put for now. They emerge after a quarter of an hour, and the executors leave right away. The knight approaches you with an uncharacteristic smile on his otherwise grim face. Oh, that does not bode well. We've got them now, Vagrus. Thanks to the information you provided, we have located the traitors' headquarters in the city. A long yellow building, the district of Scoria, and the man named Hanvius. It so happens that Gaius Hanvius, a wealthy merchant and city official, who is known to be conducting shady business in the name of the Prefectus, owns a large yellow warehouse in Scoria. The whole block is abandoned, making it an ideal place for a hideout. That may not mean anything, Javek starts to say with a frown before Cedarius interrupts him. No, they are there. All of us can sense their treacherous stench. And Sergorod's servants are never wrong about such things. The way he says it shuts Javek up for good. Bring your man, Vagrus. We strike as soon as you are ready. Now, hold on just a moment. You tell him you were to help with the investigation, nothing more. Cedarius looks at you for some long, silent moments before speaking. The priests are also fixing you with their grim gazes. I told you the Empire needed you and your crew to conclude the investigation on the abolitionists. Until their nest is destroyed, The investigation is not concluded. The local temple will send every able hand to set up an ambush on the warehouse, but with your help, we will be able to guarantee nobody escapes the snare. Do not come between a Sergorodite and his prey, Vagrus. There is little more dangerous in this world than a Knight of the Black Sun who is denied retribution. It seems like you won't be able to wriggle your way out of this just yet. Yeah, what did I tell you? You can't argue with zealots. And we're just getting sucked even deeper and deeper. Leaving the hideout, you set out to the Mancio. You can see how Javek is worried. He sighs. I don't like where this is going, boss. The last thing we needed was getting involved in this conspiracy with the local underworld, the city's leaders, bandits, and the damned fanatics all tearing each other apart with us in the middle. For the first time in a long while, I don't know what you're thinking. Just when you are about to say something, he goes on. You don't have to say anything. Just know that this is how I see things now. And also that many fellows in the crew are thinking the same. We know there's little you can do to get rid of our nightly parasite at present, but keep in mind what we originally set out to do. You keep walking, thinking about what he said. The two of you return to the Mancio. You can't help thinking about how this will end. Prepare for what is to come. Gain 7 insight. Okay, here we have the warehouse. Proceed with the ambush on the warehouse, where the abolitionists are hiding. I don't think there's anything I can do in Avernum anymore. You know, what if I smelt a single metal scrap and got 1 iron? Well, nothing seems to have changed. I still don't understand what the game wants from me in here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold on to this iron just in case. But for now, I think let's just get this over with, right? You arrive at the rendezvous point set by Cedarius, accompanied by your fighting crew only. It is a few blocks away from the warehouse itself, in the enclosed atrium of an abandoned house. A group of grim-faced and visibly anxious Sergorodite novices is gathered around several priests and executors. The Black Knight is also there, standing tall next to the wall, arms crossed, looking at his allies thoughtfully. Everything happens fairly fast afterward. You learn of the attack plan that involves the Sergorodites surrounding the warehouse and blocking all exits, while a force of executors and priests attacks from 2 sides. In the meantime, you take your companions and Cedarius to the 3rd rear door in an alley and deal with the ones that remain. The strike force sets out immediately. Following Cedarius, you go around several blocks and end up behind the warehouse. The attack commences as planned, with novices rushing into the streets. Your group enters the back alley just as you hear the shouts and painful cries. The main force must have entered the warehouse. You don't even make it to the back door when it bursts open and several armed men rush out. Your companions and fighters engage them right away. Alright, let's see what we have here. Got these two. It appears I cannot move them, just like last time. Got a slinger in the back, one brigand, and one bruiser. Probably need to get rid of this guy somehow. Let's put Morven here. Well, actually, no, I don't think I'm going to risk her. Let's put Javek in the back. I think we'll make do with this one. Okay, now, let's see. What did you do? You used Fend Off. A held spear stance that anticipates approaching enemies, catching them when they step into range. Alright, so no moving around then. And you did get that one. Mark a foe to the benefit of your allies. Slingers are good at coordinating attacks. Yeah, he's gonna go first. That gave Javek attacker receives +5 crit, +10 accuracy. For 3 rounds, yeah, that's not ideal. But I don't think these two can hit in the back. And he's behind cover anyway, so... This combatant boosts the armor of adjacent friendlies by 1. I could move Javek behind him. Little bit of extra defense wouldn't hurt. Let's see, I can use hypnosis to get this slinger to the front. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Does it only work? Okay, I can't tell where to go. Alright. And I think you're all melee, right? Yeah, you are all melee. So you're gonna waste a turn to move forward. Let's see, what can you do? Smashing blow. Shield push. Don't need any more knockbacks, thank you. Shattering blow. -1 to armor. Question. Can armor go into the negatives? Let's find out. Oh, damn it. And now he's back in the back. Very well. Let's start with the buff. Okay, what happened here? Didn't quite catch that. Let's see. Bruiser moved. That's fine. Fend Off triggers. Oh, so it's more like a stance, not a reaction, as I thought. You have your block debuffed. Yeah, you're just gonna die. That's a problem. Is there a way that I can get rid of this? Spear attack that triggers when the overwatched position is entered by a foe. Well, maybe this tooltip is a little misleading. I think it's when the overwatched position is occupied, since I technically didn't move with anyone. Oh, it has a part 1 and a part 2. I see. Well, this does an annoyingly high amount of damage. What to do now? Do I just start mind blasting? Yeah, let's do that. Miss, that's good. Cleave for both. Or unholy strike for this one. Let's just get rid of this one first. Nice. Here we go. Ow. That was through cover. And with an 18% evade chance. You bastard. Alright then. Let's do this. Damage and a lot of bit of damage. Yep. So now if I shield push, that's another turn wasted. Let's do it again. Come on. Well, at least this is kind of free. Here we go. Now I'm gonna debuff this one. Okay. Maybe a little bit of defense on you. Don't know if I'm going to keep this one for later. Actually, skip turn here. Regain a little bit of power. I think I want to debuff this guy's armor. Okay, let's move. You back here. Missed. Okay. And one more hit should do it. Nice. You are quickly finishing off stragglers and gather your team after a skirmish when a wounded priest stumbles out of the back entrance. Panting, he tells you that the warehouse is cleared out, but a group of abolitionists manage to break out and escape through rooftops towards the south. Sudarius beckons you and you start to run. You catch up with your fleeing foes as they descend from a low building's roof onto an abandoned street. One of them, an archer, spots you and lets loose an arrow. It pierces the throat of one of your fighters, who tumbles to the ground. Sudarius charges ahead with a war cry. Your group and theirs clash moments later. A brutal fight commences. Okay, so this is gonna be an actual boss fight here. With 2 spearmen this time. And we immediately start outnumbered. And everyone's hurt. This might take a couple tries. Kinda have to keep Morven. Maybe here. Concentrate on the archer. Since that appears to be the boss. Krifta, oh, you even have a name. Yeah, you're definitely a boss. What do you do? Poison arrow. No thank you. Aimed shot. 12% crit. And ignores 1 armor. No thank you. Suppressing shot. Yikes, that is very powerful and armor piercing. And can immobilize. And when you are in the front, it's a weak and inaccurate attack, but gives an accuracy debuff. That's not much better actually. Yeah, this doesn't sound very good. But you kinda have to go first, I think. Let's see, I do have enough resourcefulness for reviving twice. Okay, and they are quite fast. Okay, if I push you backwards, is that gonna break your stance? I wish I knew. But I did say it, so I am going to go with it. Archer has to go first. Okay, that's better. Okay, if I were to debuff, not that one. That was a misclick. Okay, let's look at it like this. If I'm gonna move you back here, and the archer moves to the front here. Okay. It appears that Fendolf actually does break when they move. That is very good to know. Let's see, start. Mind blasting. Oh, and you even have mind resist. Screw you. Okay, need to bring Morven to the front here. Okay, one lucky crit. And I will be good. Okay, now how did that guy manage to hit Javek? Interesting. Oh, here it is. I see it now. So Fandorf takes one specific position. And Javek was moved over there, so he was hit. I see. So, top front. This is gonna hit here. So you're not moving while you have this shot primed. That's actually perfect. 3 damage here. Wait, 3 to 4. You have 1 armor, so 4 to 6. Expected damage 3 to 5. About 1 to 3 chance that I kill you this turn. Damn it. Yeah, that's not good. A companion is downed after losing all their vitality in combat. They are not removed from combat, but cannot perform actions. They receive their downed vitality and occupy their previous position. Enemies can still target them, and if they lose all their downed vitality, they are out of action. This means that they become severely wounded and can even die following combat. Some rare healing skills can bring back companions from a downed state. Be sure to protect downed companions as much as you can. Okay, now's the time to use aid. Brings you back. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to kill you unless I miraculously hit that 10% crit. Let's see, which place did you target? Mid-front. That's Sedarius. That's fine, he can die for all I care. Let's see, the Fandorf goes here. Let's buff Morgan. Maybe that will help. Okay, 2 to 5. Expected damage 1 to 4. Really low chance, but still much better than nothing. Nice. That's even better place. Cleave only has a 75% accuracy, so as much as I would like to damage both of these. Here we go. Okay, let's see. This is already better. Which one should go next? I think the slinger's gonna cause a bit of trouble if it ever manages to hit Javek. Like this. I could just use Whiplash here. Oh, and it didn't move. Yikes. Okay. Let's buff you up. Really need to take care of these ones as fast as possible. Okay, I can strafe backwards, right? Well, not that it would matter all that much. Yeah, just kick this one. Okay, do I want to make you waste a turn? Wing back. No, I think I'd rather just do the damage. Finally, something good. I might actually win this. Okay, and now I can just basically stun lock one guy while I finish the other. Okay, and one more kick, so they will both waste their turn. You love to see it. Okay, 80% accurate. Nice. Okay, that can happen. Yeah, Morven doesn't reach from there. So, let's just keep you there. And finally... That was a bit closer than I would have preferred. Because now we have to actually wait for the both of them to heal back up. And also lost a fighter. That was scripted, nothing I could do. Though clearly wounded, the archer manages to get away. Her men sacrifice themselves to save her. There's no point in trying to catch her, as your own companions are fairly badly bruised themselves. You trudge back to the warehouse, now secured by the Sergorodites. The streets are a grim sight. Bodies, or parts of them, lie everywhere. Mostly abolitionists, but quite a lot of novices too. An executor reports to Cedarius. Apparently, all but a handful of the enemy was slain, while they lost a priest, 2 executors, and a dozen novices. In spite of that, it is clearly visible that they are elated by the bloodshed. They have also taken a prisoner who is being questioned, as testified by the painful cries coming from the warehouse. Sudarius tells you to wait here, while he personally interrogates the captive. Fine, go, have your fun then. The painful cries and sobs escalate shortly after Sudarius enters the warehouse, only turning to dead silence after a couple of minutes. The knight returns a moment later. Something tells you he got what he wanted. We got +10 insight. Surgorod is with us, Vagrus. We have struck a major blow to the enemy. Judging from the contraband in this building, these abolitionists have been smuggling goods they took from comitati and other travelers for years now. The tunnel they dug under the wall that connects to the warehouse confirms this, the Black Knight says, bristling. Our prisoner was kind enough to tell on his friends though. There are 3 camps hidden in Arena's Vorax, where they direct their attacks from, each no more than several days of travel from Avernum to the south and east. Our next move is to strike at these camps now that their operation in the city is eliminated. Their supporters and allies will lay low for quite a while after today's show of force. He pauses, looking at you with a piercing gaze. I have decided that we'll join your comitatus and you'll help us seek these camps in the wasteland. I think if I say no at this point, he might as well just kill me for aiding the enemy. I may go along with this, but you have to give me more than promises now. Maybe I can get some money or extra help out of him. There's a hint of indignance in the Black Knight's voice as he speaks. The moment we capture their leader, that archer bitch, you'll get your reward, as well as the eternal gratitude of my order. Or are you doubting my words? To underline his point, several Surgorodites move closer to you and your companions. All of a sudden, the alley feels very crowded. You do not wish to defy the will of Surgorod, do you, Vagrus? Should you do so, a terrible curse will be placed on you and your crew. This chaos will not be lifted until I say so. Consider your comitatus commandeered until this business is finished. From this point onwards, you and your crew will always be accompanied by Surgorodites. Jovek says nothing, but you can almost feel his ire. Is it directed at you? For better or worse, your fate seems tied to that of the abolitionists. And to think it all started when I tried to do the right thing and save these people from being killed by undead. Before you leave the site of the brutal fight, Sudarius turns to you. So that you know how valuable your aid is to the Empire and its tireless servants, I want you to know this. I hereby vow on the name of Surgorod that should you aid me in eliminating the threat of these abolitionists and help me capture their leader, I shall set you free from your services and see to it that you will be most handsomely rewarded. The knight has a constipated look, like someone who has a really hard time admitting something. He clears his throat. Now, I hope that this suffices. Go and see to your business here quickly. We set out as soon as you are able. You take your leave and trudge back to the Mancio with your companions, bruised and bone-tired. A platoon of Surgorod executors already guard the inn by the time you get there, packed and ready to leave Avernum with you. You turn in for the night. Surgorodites, join your comitatus. 1 day have passed. Okay, curious. Yeah. Both of them are almost dead. That's gonna take quite a while. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just... Well, no, after all that's happened, we don't deserve to sleep on the floor just to save money. We're gonna go with this. I think when I make my Vagrus, I'm going to gear them more towards increasing my chances with these. Because if I could consistently get positive results here, that would basically eliminate any upkeep I have while in a city. And I think that should be very important. Oh hey, and we gained an obedience somehow. Probably because of him. Alright then, and I think I'm going to leave it here for this episode. And it appears we are gonna be good to go after this. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, have a nice day.